Hello, world. This is America's Supermom, and this is a special edition that I call the Corona Chronicles. During this time, we are suffering from a pandemic that is affecting everyone across the world. We are joined with the rules and regulations of being shelter in place, which means we are limited with the ability to go about our daily business, confined to our homes based on a coronavirus that has been sweeping the entire world. For some people, the effects could be mild. For others, it can be fatal. So we are coming together as a community, as a family during this time of difficulty to share what it is like in our part of the world, how we are affected, and the things that we have in common, what kind of problems that are taking place in our industries and in our relationships and finances, and coming together so that we can plan for a better tomorrow. As this epidemic or pandemic crosses the world, we are waiting for relief. We're waiting for the virus to die off and for us to go back to some state of normalcy, whatever that may be, after things kind of settle down. So, what is that going to look like once the dust settles? How are things going to be different? So, as we go through this process, we're coming together as a world to create ideas, strategies, connect in ways that we have never connected before. So, that is the purpose of the special podcast that I call the Corona Chronicles, so that we can get some insight and have empathy and compassion on one another, create new innovative ideas that can not only improve our life, but our fellow brothers and sisters across the world. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to thank you guys for joining us today. I'm really excited about my next guest, Lola. I'm not even going to pronounce her last name because I don't want to mess that up. But we connected organically through Facebook. She has a Facebook group, and what really impressed me about her is her ability to uh, teach concepts in such an easy way. And they're great ideas, when it comes to marketing, building your business. And I really appreciate her insight. So I'm excited to have her here today because as we think about pivoting and moving forward post pandemic, so many people have a lot of gloom and doom about that. But I love how she is able to keep moving, have the energy and inspiration, regardless of what things are looking like around her. So at this time, I'm going to give Lola the opportunity to introduce herself and tell us how to pronounce her last name and before we get into the interview.
Okay, thank you so much, Lachelle. My name is Lola Oyafemi, and
Okay.
I'm a messaging strategist who helps entrepreneurs actually clarify their message and use their message to clients and get clients to continue working with them. So attract and retain clients.
Mm-hmm.
And the amazing thing is, when I came online a few years ago, I wasn't doing this. I was
Oh.
doing so many other things. I was doing ads. There was a time I was just going from thing to thing until I
Mm-hmm.
discovered that what I've been running away from, which is actually just writing content, messaging, is actually my superpower. So that's a
I
long,
love
so that's an amazing one too.
I love that. And that is such an important point because a lot of people see the big picture about their businesses, but sometimes the picture they see is so big, they don't know how to break it down to the actual avatar or customer, so to speak. So, for those of us who are listening, what is one key tip that we can remember when it comes to crafting the right message?
The key thing is to remember that you're trying to help somebody.
Mhm.
The big thing is not about being popular or doing something for engagement, but remembering that we are, especially online, we're all connected. Your message may
Mhm.
seem like something that has no meaning to you, but to the right person, it can change their lives. So I was talking
Mm.
about it with someone the other day, like what really made me go into communication in the first place, as because that's what my first degree is on, was because I used to
Mhm.
watch Oprah as a child. I used to say, this is who I want to be. I want to be on TV. But I'm sure Oprah doesn't
Mm.
know me. But right there, by just showing up and doing her own content there, she was making me aspire to be someone better. So every time you write out something,
Mm.
I want you to have it at the back of your mind that I want someone to look at my content or see my video and change, become someone better just by coming in contact with my content.
That is so key. Okay, that is just awesome that you would say that. So, and this is important because this is one of the things that gets people into taking action. Because so many of us, we read this book, we watch this video, we go to this summit. Right now there's so many people who are going to all this free stuff, but they're still not changing their situation. So, how do you make your message more, instead of just information, you make it inspiring?
Okay. The thing about free stuff is because many people don't put their hearts into their free stuff. The goal is
Mm,
to make your free stuff so valuable that even when someone can't afford to pay for you or pay for whatever you sell or your product, they are going to save towards it. So there's this thing I learned from Bushra. I said your name should either be on someone's vision board or on their credit card statement. So if you're not on the card statement because they've not paid you for
mm,
anything, but you should be on their, but they should say, I have the money to work with this person right now, but see, once I have the money, I'm going to work with Lachelle, right? That's what
mm-hmm,
your free information should do, because it should be helping take action. And this is so
mm,
key because many people read so many things, so much strategies, and people just say a lot of things without saying anything. So you go for a
mm-hmm,
summit or a webinar and everyone is talking and talking and they're just saying so many stories, no lesson, there's no takeaway, there's nothing. And eventually they say, if you want to learn how to do it, come and buy my stuff. I don't believe in that because
mm-hmm,
when you give people the first three steps, they're going to want to buy your stuff. And that way you help them because
mm-hmm,
not everyone will buy your stuff. But for the one person who's taking those actions, taking those steps, you're improving their lives.
mm.
So
I love
that's
that.
the goal.
Yeah, I love that. And so the focus is more, and this is so key because you have a lot of salespeople. They're into how many sales they're going to make, who's going to buy their program. But from what you're saying is it's about the transformation, so the key is to create a product or an experience that transforms people so they can actually become ambassadors for you and promote you to other people.
Exactly. And the way this
Mhm.
concept works is when you do really good content, really good, you're trying to help
Mhm.
people and you're putting your heart there. Number one, you won't get people call you to say, I want to pick your brain because they know you're putting your brain out there. They can easily read it. The people who are going to be coming to you are
Mm.
people who want a deeper experience. They want you to hold them by their hands and walk them through. You'll be getting better leads, all because you're
Mhm.
actually helping people online. And I'm saying this because
Mm.
I learned this concept really recently because all through I had just been struggling and doing what every other person was saying. Teach them the what, teach them the why, but don't teach them the how in your program. But the thing, it's not effective, because how many people, what's the conversion rate? So the conversion rate is like 2%. But how many of those 2% actually get any results? They don't know what your program is going to do for them. They don't know. They're not sure. But when you're putting out content that is actually helping people, transforming people, people are sure what they want to work with you, sure what they're going to get, because they've seen so much value just from your free stuff.
So key. Now, this is just a profound concept, because a lot of people are giving away free stuff, like you said, but the free stuff is not opening the door for you as the creator, because the people aren't getting the results a lot of times from the free stuff. So you definitely have to pivot in terms of that. This is great stuff. Now, so when it comes to what type of things should you do? So like the low-hanging fruit, I guess I would say, what are some ways that people who have been on the side where you were currently and are trying to pivot to creating something free, what are some key things that they should include in that free content?
Okay. One key thing is your free content should not help. It should not be promoting people who just want more free content. So, like you see, come take this checklist of 10 different subject lines or 100 subject lines. And this checklist, I have a bunch of checklists that I haven't gone through, because they're so easy to, so easy to make. They're so easy to, not everyone follows them. And that type of content, I'm not saying checklists are bad, but I'm just saying generally, that type of content that is easy and, quick steps, stuff like that, it helps people who are not ready to take action. Those are the people who rush at that content, because it's not deep. It's content that just makes them feel, this is another tactic. This is a quick fix. This is a band-aid. It's not deep content. But when your free stuff is actually deep and it has steps for implementation, people who are going to take it are people who have been trying out different things in their own business. They're not sure of how it's going to work, but they just want to try out, will this work for me? It's a totally different concept from someone who is just, downloading all the freebies. And I think that's why you see more coaches, more entrepreneurs do all these life challenges. Because for you to show up for 5 days, it means this is important to you. You don't come on Facebook and show up for 5 days for someone's challenge if it's not an important thing. But with the checklist, you can just download it, right? You don't. There's no time or investment required. So I think that's the difference. If you put your heart and soul into your freebie and you're giving people your time, you're giving people your investments, and I don't mean investment like you're giving them money, but your time is your investment, your knowledge, your wisdom. You're giving them all that. People who are going to come to you are not people who want a quick fix. They're people who have been struggling since, and they know they need the help. They know they can only get the help if they're ready to invest their time or invest their money.
I love that. Yeah, and I love that. So, and this is the thing that kind of removes that barrier of the free mindset, because, a lot of people say, well, if it's free, a lot of people aren't going to value it. But if you have the whole thing where you're ready to come alongside and make a commitment with them for something free, and you kind of add that little element of, skin in the game, so to speak, which makes it a little bit different. Okay, so walk us through like something that you're doing. Like, let's say you have a Facebook group, okay, because you are great at yours. So somebody says, well, I want to kind of get everybody together in a group. What is a method that they could use with this free content in order to make those conversions?
One easy thing you can do is you can do lives on your personal profile if it's on Facebook, and then just tell people to come to your group for live masterclasses. Live challenges are really good because it allows you to know it's really serious. Who really wants to learn this concept? Who is going to show up? And I've realized that the best people are people who actually come for all their lives. They're the ones who are going to make the payments. They're the ones who are going to take you seriously. They're the ones who are going to be ready to talk about you every time you say something. So they're the ones who are going to tell their friends, oh, do you know she's going live? Please, you have to be there. And the beautiful thing about life challenges and when you're going live is that people know your face. You know, the thing about social media is we believe we're hiding behind the screen, but live video makes people see you. Oh, she's real. She's talking. This is not pre-recorded.
Right.
There are no filters. That human connection is just there. And right now, it is more powerful right now than ever. More powerful right now than ever. And the beautiful thing about it is the more you do it, the time may not be awesome, but the more you do it, the better you become at it. And it's the same with everything in life. The more you do it, the better you become at it. I think it's even the same thing when you're a mom. Like, I just had my first child. So I'm just like doing trial and error. I'm trying this. But the next time I have a child, I'll be a better mom. And that's how it is.
Yeah. That's good. I like that. And so, and now, so talk to us about how do you get increase engagement for live versus people being in the group and catching the replay. So what can we do with our live content to bring people to the table, so to speak, rather than just saying, oh, you know what, she's live, I'm just going to catch her content later on when I get
the
time.
easiest way to do it is create an event in your group. So when you create an event in the group, Facebook automatically invites everyone in the group and it sends everyone notifications. But for me, what I do is like I have a community manager in my group and she tags everyone to videos. So some people like it, some people don't, but I've had people tell me thank you for reminding me of this video. But the thing is, if your content is really valuable and you want to make it valuable not just for people who are going to watch it live, but for people who are going to watch the replays, you want to make it super valuable. People are going to want to come and watch your lives. And another thing you can do is you can pick a particular day. Not that you go live today, you go live at 10 a.m. Tomorrow you're going live at 10 p.m. Just pick a particular time you go live. So you tell them, I go live at maybe 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. or whatever is your time. It's like I go live on Thursdays, 11 a.m. Everyone on the group knows that's the live day, except I'm doing maybe a challenge or something. That's the day I go live. I can go live at other times, but those are not like official lives, right? The official live is Thursday, 11 a.m. So just have a particular day, a time, and let people in your group know that day and time, and they will be there to cheer you live. The first times, the first few hundred people, the first 50 people, 100 people, it may not be that engaged, but as it grows, you're going to start more and more engagement. And one little thing is don't always bank on engagement, because not everyone who engages is going to make money. I've stopped thinking of engagement as a vanity metric. It makes you feel good about yourself. But the real metric is how many reach out after the live, go to the sales page and say, I loved your live, I want to make payments. And how many people are voting for you with a credit card. So that's the real metric.
I love that. Now, and so talk to somebody who is, they're going to be starting a new business because their industry has changed. They're working from home or whatever with this pandemic. And, what is the advantage with having one particular day for live? Because, you got these challenges. Get on every day, do a Facebook Live all the time. So what advice would you give them about the picking a day as opposed to just hopping on?
A day allows you to plan, because like I said before, you want to make sure your content is excellent. Not go live every day because you're in challenge. You can go live on your Facebook profile every day. But when you have a particular date where you say, okay, this is our class, or this is my tutorial, or this is my training, whatever you decide to call that day is different, because people know that you have planned, you've prepared, so your content that day is excellent, because it's not just content that is just coming on the spur of the moment. It's content that you've thought about, you've planned it, you've looked at how can it be valuable to the person listening or person watching me live, or even watching the replay. So it's different. It allows you to have that star factor, that celebrity factor, because it's once a week. So everyone knows once a week, this is our main event. Now we can have 100 other events in the group, but our main event is on this day every week.
I love that. Now, and then I was getting ready to say should your group be public or private?
Private.
So talk to us
private
about
groups
that.
are the best, because some people don't want to have family or friends in their business and they want to engage in. So public groups are usually taken over by scammers who want to just spam it and stuff like that. But private groups, they have this community, because if you're not in the group, you can't see who is in the group. You can't see what they're saying. So all things, add that flavor to private groups that are not just there in public groups.
I love that. Okay. Sounds good. Now, when you're doing these Facebook Lives, so let's just say, talk to us about, if you do the lives on the personal page, how long should they be? And then if you do the ones for your training,
okay, personal page, I try not to go more than 20 minutes, because most I'm just sharing what I just feel it's for the moment. It doesn't have to be so long. But for trainings, I can go from 20 to 45 minutes. I don't enjoy very long trainings, because I realize that sometimes some people tend to lose focus, and there are lots of things. People are very busy. So I keep it at 20 minutes to 45 minutes for a normal training. If I'm going in depth, like I'm really going deep down, maybe 90, but like 90 minutes is the maximum. And you're really sharing something really in depth, really complicated. If you're sharing something simple that can be understood really simply, just go from 20 minutes to 45 minutes. It can be 20 minutes. Anything between is fine. Super long doesn't really work well, because some people are going to fall down on the way. And even you yourself, you may not be able to keep that energy from the beginning till the end. And you want to be very energetic. You want to, because your energy determines the energy of people who are going to.
Right. I love that. Now, so walk us through. So let's say you're doing a training and the topic is on, crafting the right message. So, we want to say this message is going to give you a great strategy for redoing your bios or something like that. So people know when they read your bio, if you're the person for them. How do you determine, like with your programs, if this is group oriented? I mean, how do you make that transition from a group to individual? Because some people may feel like, oh, you know what, I like the group price. And, how do you get them to see the value with customize it on an individual basis more so than always trying to be with the group?
The thing is, now you're going to the sales part. The thing is, some people are always going to love just, watching the lives, and that's okay. That's good. But some people don't have time to do trial and error. I feel a lot of times entrepreneurs are trying to talk to everyone, but we forget that we're not talking to the people who don't have the time to do trial and error. They don't have the time to, waste on, trying out new things and failing over and over again. Like today, I shared a post about how when I first started consulting, I was doing free consults and I was always getting awkward people. So someone else who is coming to my Facebook profile and is seeing that post, but doesn't want to have to do the whole free consultation thing, can just say, see, I'm not going to go through this. I'm just going to reach out to her to help me. And that's the mindset you should bring when you're going to your lives. I am teaching this, but some people in my audience don't want to have to stress thinking, how do I write my bio? They just want someone to talk to them and give them that bio. And Yeah, and when you're done, when you
Mm,
teach, you just invite
I
those
like
people.
that.
Just say, if you don't want to have to do the trial and error, you don't want to have to, sit down and spend hours like I did, writing my bio and changing it 100 times. You can reach
Mm-hmm.
out to me. I have this program, and this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. If you want it, reach out to me and let's work together. Let's make it happen for you. Just invite them for you.
I love. Yeah, I love that because, this is the element that a lot of people miss out on because they think, after being an entrepreneur for however long they have been, they do not put together how a coach or a strategist or somebody can save them time, save them money. So the fact that you actually bring that up in that type of format just converts that whole process in a way that they can understand. So that is key that you brought that up. So with people who are trying to pivot, just in the industries in general, because I'm sure you have people from all different backgrounds. What really is your feeling from us moving forward that is some things that people probably want to be on the look for, some things that might be good to add to their business, maybe that they're not already doing, or ways that they can
Okay, one thing that's
monetize in the
really
future.
obvious if you're like following the trend is that most people are going to move online. So the online space is going to be really more crowded
Mhm.
than it is right now. And for anyone looking to pivot, what they want to do is not just pivot like
Mhm.
every other person. They want to pivot differently. They want to come online, but they want to come online and become a category of
Mhm.
one. They want to become the kings in their category. They don't want to come and compete with everyone else
Mhm.
because there's so many people right now
Mhm.
coming online. So the easiest way to do this is to show
Mhm.
up differently. So they're going to show up with value first. Now, I don't
Mhm.
mean endless value where they don't sell, but they're going to bring a lot of value to the table, and they're going to now be inviting people to work with them. Value invites. You give value, you sell. You give value, you sell. Just value, value, sell. Value, value, sell. Just give value twice and you sell the third time. And another thing they are going to be
Mhm.
doing is they're going to be given a lot of support and accountability, because now many people are calling up coaches, calling up programs and saying,
Mhm.
I went through your program, I didn't get any results. I went through this, I didn't get any results. It's a scam, it's a whatever. And right now, what people need is a lot of support and accountability, particularly support through implementing. So it's not about being a course junkie or being a program junkie, it's actually
Mhm.
implementing. So if you're coming on and you're going to hold people by the hands, you're going to give them that support, you're going to give them that human connection that has been lost for a long time, people are going to rush to do business with you.
Mhm. That's good. I love that. Okay. Now, so what is the best way
Okay,
for
you can check out
someone to
my
get a
website.
hold of you?
It's there. My website is literally just a landing page leading you to come to my group. So the easiest way to get across to me, talk to me, is on
Okay.
Facebook. I'm really active on Facebook. And I have a group, six-figure messaging strategists for
Mhm.
coaches, consultants, and experts. So that's the group. And there I can't go live every Thursday by 11 a.m. And I teach different topics about how
Okay.
to craft your message, how to get people to want to work with you, how to repel people who are just trying to pick your brain, different messages and different trainings on, actually getting your
Mhm.
message right the first time. So you don't have to spend 4 years like I did going through and trying to pick exactly what you want to do and exactly
Right.
who you want to serve and making money.
I love that. Now, what are some books or
Okay, one
podcasts that you could
podcast I
recommend to the audience?
love is Unstoppable Entrepreneur. Yes. It used to be Unstoppable Entrepreneur Radio, but I think it's Unstoppable
Mm. Okay.
Entrepreneur Show. It's really fun. It's done by Kelly Roach, and
Mhm.
she teaches a lot of selling, about building a six-figure brand, and it's a really awesome podcast to listen to. It will open your mind. Yes.
Okay. Awesome. And
Okay.
any
I
final
want
words that
everyone
you
to
want to share with
remember
everybody?
that your message is key. Don't keep quiet. Come online, share your knowledge, share your expertise, let people see you because you don't know what your simple post or your tweet or simple quote you've been keeping in mind. You don't know whose life it's going to change.
Mhm. I love that. That is so key. Well, these have been some great nuggets, Lola, and I'm really glad that we crossed paths. And, this is so key also about your environment. I encourage people to keep reaching out and gravitating to people that are like minded because it just gives you that extra boost to keep leveling up, when you're around people that are taking action. So I just want to thank you for being in my tribe and allowing me to be a part of yours. And
Thank you
so
so
glad
much,
that you could
Rochelle. I
join us
really
today and give
enjoyed
us these
this.
words
Thank
of
you so
wisdom.
much. You too.
You're welcome. Well,
Bye
you have
bye.
a great day, okay? What a great interview with Lola. So many nuggets of wisdom. I hope you guys were taking notes. The message of inspiring people to take action rather than just giving information. That to me was a game changer. So many times we get into offering this program, that program, not sure where we're headed, and wonder why people are not getting transformational results. So I hope you guys were taking notes and paying attention to that. This was a game changer. If you're interested in being a guest on the podcast, please email me at info@lachelleatkins.com. You can also follow me or contact me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, or my YouTube channel. I am always welcome to have guests come on board, share their insight and nuggets of wisdom in order to help others make this world a better place. So, if you have things that you feel inspired to share, please reach out because it could not only be a game changer for me, but for other people who listen to the podcast. If there is something in this episode that really resonates with you, please share it with others because just as you could have an aha moment, so can those who you share the podcast with. So thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.